How did you learn to get it into one full color?
Actually, I learned it from my dad a bit.
How can you even make it into one whole square with just red?
There's a pattern to it, Keisha. Now the red is here. Now you have to bring this one down. See, the blue color is gone. It's red now.
So it's 3 rows to make 9 squares.
Yeah, 3 rows, 9 squares. Yeah.
Because 3 times 3 is 9.
So we learn different topics in school, like math, science, and...
You know that my friend knows what's 99 times 99? It's just 908, 801.
Wow. So my parents teach me that studying is very actually important for when you're in primary school.
You will have more homework than your K1 and your kindergarten 2.
Yeah.
For now, I'm still in kindergarten 2 because I'm still just 6 years old.
Yeah, so when you move to primary school, you will have more homework. So that they take the studies more seriously. So that's why it's very important for you to, when you go home, and revise through what you learn. Yeah.
The biggest challenge transiting between school and work life was really that sudden lack of structure. In school, you have your modules, you know what to attend, you know more or less what you should do to score good grades. But suddenly when you're in the workplace, you kind of have to set these structures for yourself. I did feel myself getting a little bit lost when I first transitioned into jobs. Hi, my name is May. I'm a product and operations manager. I graduated in the year of 2020 and I've been working for around 2 years now. My job hunting journey began much after my graduation because just at the moment of graduation there was a whole pandemic going on. Unfortunately, I didn't do enough practices before I graduated. So after you graduate, then you're like, oh no, what should I do? So the Skillio program was actually made known to me by my friend. At that point of time, they actually have quite a long list of companies and the different roles that students can apply to and submit their resume to. Then we were put in touch with the company together. Skillio was one of my first internships after graduation. I was fortunate enough to have a product management internship with them.
The younger generation in Singapore are very excited about things like automation. They seem to be quite pragmatic about it and prepared. At the same time, of course, they too face some amount of anxieties about things like aging, things like social security as they get older, and also the changing models of business and work in the workplace, and how that might affect them achieving their dreams. The transition of young adults from school to working life is a global challenge, finding the right kind of employment. And of course, making sure that they actually have the necessary skills to find their dream job, and the opportunities exist. Internships are hugely valuable because internships give you a very good snapshot of what the real world of work is like. And internships also give them a gateway to actually getting a real offer. So sometimes you do a good internship and they like you, they'll make you a full-time offer.
So it's just animation. No, I think they're quite interesting, Isaac. You can consider.
Yeah, we can use it for
Yeah. So it's a bit more.
We basically help students build up a skills profile on our platform. Students actually go in and fill out their school experiences, like from CCA to project work, and we basically help to identify what skills competencies these students have. Thereafter, the students actually are able to book like a career skills consultation with us. So this includes things like resume building, understanding the job skills required, even like interview preparation.
I would say that the soft skills that I learned through Skillio would mainly be like the willingness to learn and like the communication skills online. I wouldn't consider myself as a creative person, so I really like invested my time to research on what the tools capabilities that I can take advantage of, and of course also learning from the other team members who are already much more advanced than myself.
So now, yeah, it still looks the same.
You need to know how to make an impact on people, how to get people to like you, how to get your team members to get along with you. These are big parts of becoming a successful career person. I can't emphasize enough the importance of being up to date with things like current affairs, being able to express yourself in an articulate manner, your presentation skills, very important.
May is someone that is very willing to learn, and she works very hard. She worked with us close to actually 6 months before she was able to then transit into a more full-time role into product management using the kind of skills and experience that we have given her. The other company was actually part of our employers' network, and back then they were hiring for someone in that role.
There wasn't any lack for me or my department, but something everything or like people did experience yeah. Okay. Just an observation. Yeah. It depends accordingly. Like for example, like some people complete the part.
Oh, yeah.
So like upload your file. My ideal work culture is just to have like a friendship among your colleagues and with your boss also. Working with Felix is a genuinely very fun and enjoyable experience, and it was really inspirational as well, seeing how we were quite close in age. But he was able to run a whole company, manage his colleagues well, and the people working with him. Mentors are important in workplace, especially when you're first transitioning, because really you're just fresh out from the books and you don't really know what to do. There's no more textbooks to follow, and essentially your mentors kind of become the textbook, I would say.
Most people observe or realize that they continue to mature as they learn to not just be independent, but they learn to be interdependent on other individuals in the community that they belong to. As they experience every new challenges, it is always good to be able to reflect either individually or with people whom they trust. Could be a family members, it could be a friend, it could be a coach, could be a mentor, to reflect on what is it that would help them overcome the same situation or demands or stress.
I started Skillio because I noticed a problem around me. Some of my peers, as well as my juniors, when they go through the hiring process, this becomes a huge barrier for them to secure those opportunities. I just rally a group of my friends together to say, hey, can we solve this problem for ourselves and also for our peers around us? I think the challenges that a lot of young people face today in terms of transiting from school to work, how do I then work with someone who is 10 years, 20 years older than me? How do I communicate with them? How do I form a relationship with them at work? The second thing is really about understanding workplace norms and cultures. How Skillio really fit into this whole ecosystem is really being that bridge between the new generation of workers, like your Gen Zs. We try to make sure that we listen to both parties. Each parties have their own set of expectations. Then we try to facilitate that interaction through placing them on internship, eventually try to close that gap.
The key to a multi-generational workforce is providing co-mentoring opportunities whereby people of different generations can learn from each other. It shouldn't just be one of hierarchy, either of age or one of position within the company, but rather, what can I teach you versus what can I learn from you?
So it started off with the pioneer group that just played together casually every Saturday. And eventually their son came into the game as well. And I think slowly this became something that was a consistent game that we played every Saturday morning.
Then defensive midfielder, not all threats are equal. I prefer to cover more tap.
So we need to figure out who's playing behind, who's playing in front, then we can know what to do. Then with our roles, you can
You give the midfield more breathing space to come up to support.
We continue, we do the sub, rotating sub after that again, right?
Good defense, everyone so far. I think
Good save.
I think being able to hear different perspectives of life. For example, talking to someone who's married and how do they, face inflationary pressures at home, and versus someone like many of us young people who are still single, how do we adjust to this as well? So I think a lot of times being a part of an intergenerational group, it really helps us to expand our perspective and horizons beyond our narrow perspective that we currently have.
I want to say we are really blessed with generations of players. We have at least 4 sets of father and their son, and we watch the son grow up from a boy to become confident young man.
My name is Sam. This is my son, Kim, that we've been playing for more than a decade. This is our only way of bonding, and this is the only time that we spend most physically, emotionally, and of course, spiritually.
Although the age group spans from 60 plus to 15, there's a lot in mutual respect and looking after each other. After the game, we'll go for our breakfast and we'll give them advice about family, career, and inspirational stories of our experience, even the mistake we have made, so that we hope that they can learn from this. I know Felix for 5 years. What I bring into those supper that I spend time with him, bring my years of experience and networking in the industry, to bring him the options and the connections we share. And I would say I learned a lot of things from him, like his confidence, his audacity, and his belief in what he sees as something he can change the world.
In order to allow different generations to really learn from each other, it's really to create that space for this group of these different generations to come together to interact with one another. These experiences really help me to be more open to learning new things, to take risks. As I age, I think these are traits that I believe will hold me in good stead.
My approach to learning would be to be curious about things always. There's always something you can learn from everybody, every experience.
One way to bridge the intergeneration gap is to ensure that the younger generation and the older generation are able to communicate more frequently.
Take it easy. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you learn things at a slower pace than others, it's fine. Be happy for yourself that you learned something. Yeah.
Better, but you just keep switching it over and over. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is a different pattern.
Yeah, actually, it's a long
What's this? What did you bring for me?
It's called cat cradle game. So we use two hands and just round the line. And you can create different patterns.
I've seen it a long time ago. People doing this.
And use a middle finger to cross the line. No, to cross this line.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
So,
And then?
so your friend will.
I mean, when do you learn to play this?
Maybe during primary school.
Primary school?
Yes. You know, in childhood, when you are very young, is learning things very quickly and easy.
So actually the same pattern, but you just keep switching it over and over.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is a different pattern. How many patterns are there roughly?
I haven't counted before. Maybe 7, 6, or even more.
Okay, there's a lot of patterns.
Yeah.
Carpentry used to be a trade whereby I tell myself I wouldn't want to come in because back in my younger days, my parents stopped me for going into carpentry because they tell me that it is a very tough and very difficult job. I'm actually working in the departmental stores as a procurement officer for more than 30 years. My name is Tan Kin Hui. My age, I'm 58 years old this year. This is actually a career switch for me, and I chanced upon this when a customer shared with me about this career conversion program.
Usually for wardrobe, honestly, this remaining area is usually the carpet.
I like fixing and repairing. Many times I tell myself, how do they actually construct a cabinet from scratch? But I couldn't get an answer. So when I chance upon this, I tell myself, I think it's high time for me to learn how can I actually construct a cabinet from scratch.
Most midlifers have this moment of awakening. They realize that some of these careers that they've chosen earlier in their life no longer suit them. They face these barriers of taking the step forward as to what to do. So these are some of the things that will stop them from really learning and growing more.
The students actually learn the manual way of carpentry as well as the automated and modern way of producing. One of the challenges that Kelvin faced, I would say, would be the use of technology. Because in this class, we actually teach how to use the software to design and to build the furniture, as well as operating modern machines which have usage of computers inside.
The biggest challenge so far is actually how can I actually overcome and keep myself updated with the current technology and machinery used in the process of cutting of materials.
So we support him by pairing up with a younger learner who's able to guide him through the process. And what we also do as trainers, we actually break down the information into smaller chunks so it's easier to absorb.
why correct method is very important.
We have been doing research over the last year is looking at neuroplasticity, to what extent we can make changes in the network of the brain. Important for relaying information throughout the brain. So like the thalamus here in the orange structure is the main relay station in the brain that directs all information. In the learning years, from early childhood to adolescence, those are very steep trajectory where there's a lot of room, what we call for flexibility, or where we can mold very fast with learning. However, there are certain things you can't really learn during those age groups because like insights, right? Where you have to gain experience to understand certain deeper meaning or metacognition type of learning. It only comes more with experience. Down the line, we can still learn. Our neuroplasticity is still working. It's just that it's at a slower rate. In fact, we could learn certain things faster than younger individuals simply because we have previous experience.
Well, as an older student, I think I bring my experience, my patience, and also my ability to pick up points whereby most of my classmates didn't realize. I think I'm more like a physical learner because I need a lot of hands-on so that I will be able to capture detail and retain information. In this program, I learned how to construct not only cabinet, but I will say any wood making materials using modern technology. And I tell myself that I will try to make some furniture for my kids for their future homes. So I'm very happy with this completion of this shoe cabinet because I have actually learned how to construct a shoe cabinet from scratch and doing installation the correct way.
One day I came home and he was like, "Hey daughter, I made this cabinet for you." It's like, wow.
Initially, I thought he was a salesman, you know, and just selling off wardrobes and stuff. I didn't know that he was the one actually building it.
So how I thought about it is like, I feel that it's something new for him. If he's gonna enjoy what he's gonna be doing. To be honest, I feel quite proud that at this age, he's still learning and like progressing very well.
After working for 30 years in the sales industry, he decided to, take a leap of faith and go into this industry. So I believe people who want to achieve their dream, and they're not afraid of moving on to a comfort zone, I think they should do it lah.
I am glad that I have a very good boss whereby he encouraged me and tells me that you do not have to worry. Just put in effort, try your best, and we will back you up.
The mindset of an individual is important in every season of their life. And I think in midlife and in a major transition like that, absolutely. It really helps them if they can have a growth mindset and think that, hey, this is a season, I can get over to the other side. Things are gonna be difficult, but I can handle it. If I can't, I can ask for help.
I've learned that I can actually accept and adapt myself in a trade that is totally different from what I used to be. I would say that it is not difficult because at 58 years old, if I can do it, I think most of the people will be able to do it. Make up your mind, stay positive, be committed to what you want to do. Everything will be All right.
My company actually approached me because I was a new hire, so they asked me whether I want to join this program to upskill myself. Very good to be hands-on because then the project or the idea moves forward and then so you can reach to the prototyping stage. I've always been watching like videos on carpentry, like on the internet and stuff. I actually prefer watching somebody do it and actually learning from that. My thing on lifelong learning is that I feel that there's always something new to learn. Yeah, every day from everyone that you meet. So you just have to keep your mind open.
Okay, Jay. Denny. Hi.
When you're 6, the better you'll feel when you're 67.
Do you look forward to getting older?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? Why no?
Yes, it's because I get to learn more stuff before I get older.
Yeah.
And no, it's because some of my family members will die, then I cannot see them anymore.
Getting old is a slow process every day, and you don't even think about it. One day you're 6, then you're 10, and then you're 20.
Then 60.
And then you're 60.
Then 70.
Maybe 80 or 100.
What's difficult for you to learn now?
A new language. My wife can speak Chinese and Thai, but I can't speak Chinese or Thai.
I can speak some Spanish like uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis.
Yeah, I can speak a little bit of Spanish, not very much.
Do you know how to say so in Spanish? Espada.
Espada? Well, that's good. See, I didn't know that. I don't know Spanish. You know more than me.
What have you learned from life?
What have I learned from life?
Hang on.
Be nice to other people. Because if you don't, your life is much more miserable.
Press it hard and slowly push it aside until shape is formed. And depending on what you want it to be, cylindrical, or you can just pull it out a bit, it widens. Sometimes you don't get what you want to do because you either apply too much force or you don't apply enough. My name is Lim Keng Jun. I'm 87 years old this year, and I'm attending the LaSalle class on ceramics. My art form is normally painting, but I find that ceramic is a different ball game for me. It's entirely new because it requires certain skill that is different from painting. You started with a piece of clay that's insignificant. Then you throw it and you find that you have achieved a certain shape. And then when you are satisfied with the shape, that is your achievement. Now, I try to shape it again. I need a bit of water so that it's a bit slippery. I never had proper instructions until now because I did not find time to go to a special art class. Many people think that once you have retired, the whole world more or less stops. But I continue that it is a golden opportunity for me to engage in things that I miss doing during my active life. I'm a very average learner. I like to create things, especially when I'm doing this ceramic. I look at my instructor how he does the things and ask a few questions. So from there, you sort of form an idea how things should be done. That's my motto. If it's not successful, I throw it away and do it again. A lot of the senior citizens, they are low in their esteem, you know. When you ask them to come, let's join this, oh, I cannot because I don't know how to do it. So before you can join, you are negative. You should be positive. When you have a positive attitude, then it's easier to integrate and mix with all the other groups.
Aging is old. It's not just old, it's also gold, right? So do you agree with that? Yes.
Some of the elderly, they may not feel comfortable to learn because they don't have self-esteem, and they also don't feel comfortable to learn within a group. The most important is we need to identify the needs of the elderly. What are the interests of our elderly? What do they want to learn?
For the seniors who wants to learn, they must have an interest in what they want to do. And secondly, they must choose the subject they are interested in. It's no point of if someone wants to do ceramics and just because he's doing ceramics, you want to join. The satisfaction of getting something done, that's the achievement. Because you see, this piece of clay is insignificant unless you do something to it. I'm trying to finish the glazing of this one pot that I have with me, this bowl. I hope that when I come back in the new term, it will be there for me. This class gives you some purpose in life that all is not lost. I think that is what I feel lifelong learning is.
When we look at our ability to learn or pay attention to something, I would like to first point out that the brain actually consumes about 20% of the calories we eat. So the energy, 20% of it, is used for our brain. And so it's important to consume the right types of calories. The quality of the calories we eat or the quality of the food we eat can interfere with our ability to learn. We're gonna make a kale and tempeh stir fry. Kale is naturally rich in GABA, G-A-B-A. It is a neurotransmitter that helps to block out certain chemical reactions in our brain to help us feel calm. When it's half done, you can pop in the tempeh that we have air fried right into the pan. So tempeh is rich in protein. For a lot of people, it is a lot more digestible than other type of beans because it's fermented. Tempeh and kale have benefits of giving us GABA. So if you look at kale, it's one of those vegetables that produce natural GABA for us. And GABA is an important neurotransmitter that helps us adapt and learn. For some people, when they age, they tend to eat less of nutrient-dense foods. They also tend to eat maybe less variety. So this could actually impact their ability to absorb all the nutrients needed for good brain health. So I would say, as we get older, just be a little bit conscious about your diet and see whether are you still eating a rainbow, and remember to have diversity in your diet.
In general, I would feel that the aging population in Asia, they really need to be like more open-minded. Now the world is so open. Right? There's really a lot of things that you can do. Just be more open-minded.
I think most importantly, we're able to learn things from people, and the things that we absorb are not controlled by.
You know, over here, when you drive your car, when you go down the road, you drive on the left side. And in your car here, your father's steering wheel is over here, right? And you can sit here. You know, in America, the steering wheel is over here.
It's behind?
You know, it's on the other side. It's over here, and then we drive on this side of the road. What's something new you have learned recently?
Driving a car.
Riding what?
Driving a car.
Driving a car? So you drive a car now? Well, that's good. They wouldn't let me drive a car when I was 6 years old.
Even though I'm 6, I need to drive a car.
好，大家早安哦，早安，好，是啊，魔术课准备要开始喽，会有到一些手指头的动作，所以我们来暖身一下。好，双手接我。
他的魔术课大概差不多1个多月而已，因为他这个是还开课而已。但这个魔术课是比较有趣味性，那个老师会花一些道具让你自己制作了。因为5年级大了，我那个手不灵活，做起来的话还是有一些卡的。
今天我要跟你分享这个魔术怎么变，好，等下可以两练习。好，那怎么做呢？我的食指在这边，左下先抓过来，从外面套，右上抓过来，从外面套，然后呢，左手放松之后呢，它就会跑出来。这个逃脱术，而且呢，这个跟观众互动哦，在观众的手上变出来。好，对，好，所以可以往这个方向去。
魔术课的设计里面，其实我觉得对长辈来讲算是低入门，这样，因为它透过很多的道具的设计，可以让长辈可以快速的学习。但是同时之间呢，他又要记得哪里有关卡，那他的哪一个步骤要怎么做，这样。所以除了手部的精细动作以外，其实也增加了他在记忆或认知上面的这个能力，这样子。最早弘道其实是开始做很多的志愿服务，让很多的在家里面的独居弱势长者有志工的关怀服务。那随着整体的演进，后来慢慢的我们做很多的社区工作，让社区的人更了解高龄的长者，也提供更多的所谓高龄的长者服务。
来点到另外一个大哥来
啊，你看在里面哦，你看哦，啊哈。
哇，摇一摇就穿透出来了，漂亮啊！
这魔术课就是说表演给别人看一下，还是有一种成就的那个感觉啦。跟同学比较有互动，但是互动就是说我会的话换我教他们。
魔术嘛，所以它其实非常的可以创造很高的成就感。因为不管是小朋友或观众看到魔术，总是会很多的惊呼这样，所以我们自己观察银发魔术课对长者在认知、在手部功能，然后或者是在他的自信心提升上面，其实都有非常大的帮助。
这是洛神花，那个种子要拿下来，这个可以做蜜饯啊。 我这边有种香蕉啦、地瓜叶、山药、丝瓜，有收成的话就比较有成就感了。因为当初退休的时候是没事，我退休生活就是当初就是做志工，还有就是去上课。
Senior citizens, when they are getting older, they are more experienced. The verbal activity and the numeric activity of the cognitive function do not really decline as people age. But learning the magic tricks will be a good option for the senior citizens in many ways, because if you trace back to your probably middle life, 40, 50 something, you will start to experience the physical and cognitive function decline. But that functional declines that may occur in more the coordination part. That coordination part is a very important training nowadays. If we don't talk about magic, but even though many countries are doing, we call it dual tasking training. So dual tasking meaning that you have to do exercise together with some cognitive training as well, using their hand and brain together or the physical activities all together. That can improve their mental health, both the mood, cognition, physical health, together with their brain structure. So that could be very helpful.
模式课的话，就是说动脑，比较讲一些蛮轻的，是比较不会老年痴呆啦，手脚比较会灵活啦，因为它是要动手的。
跟大家分享第二个魔术，好，我就请他出来，好，来，大家给他掌声鼓励，哦，来，好，大家可以帮我看仔细哦，这边有一条丝巾，好，帮我握紧这个丝巾哦。这个魔术呢叫做心想事成，好，你心里面只要想着丝巾不见，它就会消失不见哦。好，准备好了吗？好，你帮我念，丝巾不见，丝巾不见。好 ，OK， 我们看仔细哦，来，1、2、3，哎，你真的有想丝巾不见吗？刚刚说不要想成其他东西。
There are several ways we can try to improve your brain health. The first thing is you have to get more of your brain health when you are young. So you have to learn, you have to do a lot of different activities. If we say brain health is kind of bank account, you need more deposit in your young age. When you're getting older, you have to learn harder because the declining rate is faster. Lifelong learning is about dealing with something that you don't know and you are not good at with for the lifetime. It's about your personal curiosity to your life. You cannot just do every day that you are used to. So you have to experience new things and to learn.
我星期一下午上木工课，晚上在学校上戏剧课。星期二是下午站导护，星期三就跑到这边桃园来。星期四下午要值班，4点要站导护。星期五下午要上课。因为当时在家里的话没事啦，所以说最起码不会很无聊啦。
Lifelong learning is our willingness to learn at any time and at any age. And this just means being open to picking up new skills, It just means that learning doesn't end after your formal education ends.
Learning means that you have to learn something that you previously are not good at, such as knowledge or skill.
Social-emotional learning is probably the most important part besides acquiring new knowledge and new skills. And this is a part where most people observe or realize that they continue to mature as they learn to not just be independent, but they learn to be interdependent on other individuals in the community that they belong to.
My approach to learning is to keep trying fast and change and adapt whenever necessary.
Be as curious as possible. Once you get that experience, that kind of etches itself in your memory.
The hardest thing I had to learn was to accept failure.
The hardest thing that I had to learn was to accept rejection.
It's how to manage my time and manage people's expectations.
To say no to certain people.
The hardest thing I had to learn was time is more expensive than money.